I grew up in a Christian home, going to church every Sunday. I was really involved in youth group, and choir was a big part of my life. But looking back, I really didn't hear about a relationship with Christ. Not that it wasn't said, but I wasn't hearing it. It was more of a social thing for me.
If Michelle's definition of church was a social one, then I think that I'd take that to a whole nother level. I did go to church as a kid. I went and attended Sunday school. Reluctantly, sometimes would have to go to church after Sunday school, and what would only hopefully have been a 45-minute hangout with friends turned into 2 hours stuck at church on a Sunday.
So after college, I had moved south for a short amount of time, and that was, one area of my life I had started being around people that were really talking about living with Christ every day, and that was new to me. And then also I found very quickly at the same time myself on the journey to single motherhood. So it was about that time that I really dedicated my life to Christ, and I needed it so much then. And when I moved back home, Evan and I got together in a very short time.
Yeah, newlyweds, 2 kids in diapers, finishing graduate school, and working full-time with this need or desire to constantly be providing for the family that I had quickly accumulated and become responsible for. And that became a huge focus for me.
We have 3 kids. Anna is our oldest. She was born in 2006. And then Will is our second, and he was born in 2008. And then Nora, our youngest, was born in 2012. In the early stages, it was difficult. Like, we were happy and we had this family, but we weren't living how we needed to be living. Christ wasn't involved, and we weren't involved in a church. And I think we were blissfully ignorant, maybe, where we're young, starting out, we have little kids, we're busy. I think at one point we each were working 2 jobs, and so that got us through, but it was definitely, we were just missing something, and I knew that. I had gotten there once before, and I just knew something was missing, and that's kind of when I started venturing back to church.
I would claim that that's the only 2 hours in the entire week that we can clean the house. So why don't you go to church with the kids, and I will stay home, try and martyr myself to clean the home alone, and then they can come back from church.
So I felt redemption was where I needed to be, and that felt like home for me. However, there was something missing, and I felt alone without my husband in church with me, even though he was at home getting the house really clean. But, I just would see families and everybody at church on Sunday, and although I knew it was where I needed to be, I just felt like something was missing. And then when I would come home throughout the week, I was growing closer to Christ and keeping him in my life, but I felt that absence in our family.
There would be occasional Sundays that I would come to church, and I was really good at dragging my feet at home to make sure that we would miss at least half, if not the entire first worship song. And if I time it really well, we may even miss 1.5 worship songs. And I would only have to stand up and sit down half as much as everybody else. And then halfway through, I'd be planning our escape back out and get to our car. And if I do the math right, we could be home in 7.5 minutes. But slowly but surely, I actually was starting to pay attention a little bit more. I actually felt like I was hearing what the pastors were saying instead of just listening to what was going on in my brain about what I had to do for the week. And then I started hearing practical application of Scripture. It was possible to be a strong masculine man, but be completely devoted to Christ. So as this is happening inside a church, I had a boss and a mentor that is a follower of Christ and had told me that I should probably have a little bit more church in my life. And we would talk Scripture at work. And that was really impactful to me. Thank the Lord, we chose to go to CLC. And I joined a band of brothers of 9 that forever changed my life. Was able to keep leaning more and more into the church responsibilities and being able to serve at church. So that started with us doing door greeting together and donut duty, and then I had the opportunity, I was nominated to be a deacon, and man, did I jump on that. Pastor Austin asked me to be a circle leader at men's Bible study, and I think that's probably one of the more exciting things that I got to share with her in our entire marriage, that I got the opportunity to do that. Last summer, Anna came to both of us and said that she wanted to get baptized. I asked Michelle, what do you think about me getting baptized at the same time? And Michelle thought that was a great idea. So we got to close out 2020 by both getting baptized together.
So I had done Bible studies solo by myself, but I had never really jumped in and done the women's Bible study, and I am now in my 3rd semester of doing women's Bible study, and I love it. Where I grew up and just thinking like I went to church on Sunday and I got to see all my friends, and even through adulthood, redemption has completely transformed that thought for me, and it really feels like home, and the relationships that we have there, they just have been life-changing, where we don't go to church on Sunday and leave Christ there. We know that, He's with us every day, and such a huge part of the home that we live in. We are the Perrows.
And this is our redemption story.